a recent ruling, a British judge declared that Muslim women are not allowed to give evidence at trial while wearing a full-face veil. The case stems around a woman who claims it's against her beliefs to have her face uncovered in front of strange men. According to her, only members of her close family are allowed to see her face. The British court conceded that she could wear a full-face veil whenever she wanted to, but not during the trial itself. The unnamed woman is facing charges of intimidating a witness in a different case. Judge Peter Murphy said that if jurors could not see her reactions during the trial, it would drive a coach and horses through the way in which justice has been administered in the courts of England and Wales for centuries. He went on to add that no tradition or practice, whether religious or otherwise, can claim to occupy such a privileged position that the rule of law, open justice, and the adversarial trial process are sacrificed to accommodate it. More and more British lawmakers are considering a total ban on veils in schools as well. As one would guess, Muslim women are opposed to such bans. They claim that the government should not get involved in religious matters. Meanwhile, Prime Minister David Cameron has acknowledged that multiculturalism in Britain has been a failure. Yet Britain has shied away from the total ban like France and Belgium have in place, for the time being, that is. A letter was released by the Cuban Bishops' Conference calling on the government to update the political system and expressing admirations for other reforms that have taken place. The bishops stated that they believe an updating of national legislation of a political nature is indispensable, as has been occurring in the economic realm. With regard to the country's one-party system, the bishops stated that there must be a right to diversity in terms of thought, creativity, and the search for truth. The formal letter was delivered to the government and was read aloud in Cuban churches. Frustrated Cubans have been leaving the country en masse due to the dreadfully slow pace of reforms. Cuba's leader, Raul Castro, insists that his one-party system is untouchable, while he is also launching the most significant changes to the Soviet-style government since the 1959 revolution. Many Cubans are simply not satisfied with the Castro regime, even with its new reforms. Musician Robertico Carcassas expressed feelings of many Cubans when he improvised a line during a recent televised concert. He said, "I want to elect the president through direct vote and not another way." Although Carcassas and his jazz band were quickly sanctioned by the dictatorial regime, there are still positive signs coming from the government. In 2010, Cardinal Jaime Ortega began an open dialogue with Castro. This productive meeting resulted in the release of 115 political prisoners. Since then, the Catholic Church has had more leeway to engage the public without fear. The Catholic Church is now able to offer adult education classes and even get a little airtime from the official media outlet. The Church is also calling for an end to 51 years of sanctions by the United States. These sanctions only continue to hurt the average Cuban, according to the bishops. The letter recalled a statement from Pope John Paul II from a 1998 visit. Referring to the U.S. sanctions, the pontiff said, "The forced isolation impacts the population indiscriminately. The measures imposed from outside on the country are unjust and ethically unacceptable." A centuries-old religious conflict has re-erupted between the majority Sunni and the Alevi minority sects in Ankara, Turkey. The Sunnis decided to build a mosque right next to a Cemevi used primarily by the Alevi. The minority religious group feels that the mosque is an attempt by the Sunni to assimilate their community into their belief system, and they have good reason to feel that way. Many Alevi are suspicious of an alliance between American-backed Sunni preacher Fethullah Gulen and Alevi elder Izzeddin Dogan. The Sunni strategy was made clear in a 1999 speech when Gulen said, "You must wait until such time as you have gotten all the state power, until you have brought to your side all the power of the constitutional institutions in Turkey." After fleeing to the U.S., Gulen was tried in absentia by State Security Court for attempts to replace Turkey's secular government with an Islamic one. Gulen currently resides in the U.S. and is considered a major player in the world of charter schools promoting his ideology. Armed with slingshots and stones, hundreds of angry Alevi have clashed with the riot police. 29-year-old protester Candace Turkelmaz said, "We will not stop protesting until the construction stops. You cannot have a Cemevi next to a mosque. Our beliefs are different." He added, "Gulen wants to assimilate the Alevis, wants to Sunnify us, and Izzeddin Dogan should not set foot in this neighborhood. He does not represent us." Those Alevi that had previously supported Dogan are now stepping back. The secular government of Turkey has for the most part kept its distance, emphasizing that the mosque project is not managed by the state. Persecuted by Sunnis for centuries, including several violent massacres, many Alevi chose to assimilate. The Turkish government has been planning a democratization package. Once implemented, it will introduce a series of reforms aimed at addressing the Alevi as well as Kurdish injustice. Head of the Cemevi, Mehmet Uzuner, quipped that they have built 3 new mosques here, but there was no need. They're empty, no one comes in and out. He concluded that I have headed the Cemevi for 20 years and I have never seen our youth so troubled as in the past few days.